Hello, my name is Xena Ceron, and this is my CCR for my group's opening scene, The Terror of Chuckles. In my group, we had a total of 4 people, including myself, Myra Seraphin, Marie Gilliam, and Ethan Stone. To do this opening scene, we were inspired by the most popular horror thriller movies that involved a clown as the antagonist. We wanted this movie to give us the feeling of suspense, the same feeling that these movies give us. We also use the same antagonist. Our opening scene was supposed to give a day in the life of a young teenager. So we dressed the protagonist in casual clothing and the antagonist in a clown's costume. For props, we used a foam knife. And for the setting, we used Windmill Park. For cinematography, we decided that we wanted to stick with conventions and use mostly medium shots and over-the-shoulder shots. For camera movements, we also decided to stick with conventions and use tracking movements and pans. For sound, we decided that we were also going to stick with convention and use no dialogue, high-pitched instruments, and occasionally with the high pitches you would also hear some low pitches, along with a few static sounds. Editing also stuck with convention, using a dip into black, a fade, dissolves, and color saturation to show that it was intended to be a opening scene to a horror thriller film. Our target audience for this film would be teenagers and young adults mostly. That being said, seniors and young children would most likely not enjoy this movie because of the suspense and the fact that it is a horror thriller film. Our film would mostly be exhibited by streaming platforms such as Hulu, Peacock, HBO Max, and also movie theaters. At the beginning of the year, I knew nothing about movies besides the fact that depending on who made the movie, you were either going to be sitting down for an hour and a half to 3 hours. I knew nothing about what made a movie. I knew nothing about mise-en-scène, cinematography, sound, or editing. I knew none of it. By the middle of the year, I knew why these 4 components or elements made a movie what it is. I knew what went into each element, and I knew why each element was so important. Now, at the end of the year, I'm preparing to take an exam to see if I can identify and pinpoint each part of the elements in a certain part of a film. For technology, we mostly use cell phones, Studio Binder, WeVideo, and CapCut. Some struggles that we did have with technology is the Adobe Creative Cloud. We had a struggle with this mostly because our computer servers would not take this, would not be able to download the premium Creative Cloud. So we decided that we were just going to stick with WeVideo to edit our film. Cell phones were used for filming the shots. A studio binder was used for storyboarding, shot scheduling, and script writing. And CapCut was used to make our branding logo. Some struggles we had throughout the film process was laughing, lots and lots of laughing, also getting distracted, mostly because the time that we chose to film was after school, so from about 2 to 4 o'clock, 4:30. And that was mostly when kids would come to the park, so we were getting very distracted. We also had certain disagreements about what we were going to film and when we were going to film it. Meetup times are also a very large struggle, I would say, mostly because our schedules didn't work with each other as well as we thought they were. So that really impacted how we were going to shoot everything. But that is all. Thank you for watching and listening.